Sean Hannity hangs on to sponsors after controversial week. Sean Hannity closed perhaps the most controversial week of his broadcasting career by taking a vacation. When he returns to work next week, his primetime Fox News program will have a slightly smaller slate of sponsors. As of Friday, multiple companies have decided to yank ads from Hannity's program, including the mattress maker Casper and Cars.com. But Hannity's promotion of a fringe conspiracy theory has not prompted the same level of fallout that ultimately undid his former Fox News colleague, Bill O'Reilly. O'Reilly saw a wave of advertisers flee his top-rated cable news program last month following a report revealing that 5 women had been paid settlements totaling $13 million after accusing him of sexual harassment or inappropriate behavior. Dozens of companies, including blue-chip brands such as Lexus, dropped ads from the O'Reilly Factor in the wake of the report, which was published by the New York Times. O'Reilly was ousted within days. Hannity has been widely criticized for hyping the conspiracy theory surrounding the murder of former Democratic National Committee staffer Seth Rich. Earlier this week, FoxNews.com retracted a debunked story that allegedly Rich had been in contact with WikiLeaks prior to his death last July and suggested he was the person who leaked thousands of DNC emails during last year's election. Hannity continued to peddle the theory on his Twitter account after the retraction, but he later bowed to the pleas of Rich's family and said he will stop discussing the matter for now. Several of the same companies that abandoned O'Reilly have said publicly that they won't be pulling out of Hannity's show, with some characterizing the controversy as a free speech matter. Mercedes-Benz, the first company to withdraw from the O'Reilly Factor last month, told the New York Times this week that it does not pull ads based on editorial content. Mercedes-Benz did not reply to CNN Money's request for comment. Lexus said in a statement that its advertising is distributed through a variety of outlets in the interest of sharing its product news and information with a diverse customer audience. In addition, we feel that the ability to express different viewpoints throughout editorial content is an integral part of having a free press, the company said. Hyundai, another automaker that abandoned O'Reilly's show, told BuzzFeed that it has monitored the sensitive storyline raised by Mr. Hannity and expect Fox News will use editorial discretion to ensure that all reporting is substantiated, but that it does not intend to change its advertising plans at this time. Jaguar, which also pulled its ads from O'Reilly, told CNN Money that there are no changes to our advertising plans related to this situation at this time. It appears that at least 5 companies have decided to leave Hannity's show. CNN Money confirmed that Cars.com has pulled its ads. The military financial services firm USAA said on Twitter this week that it did not intend to run spots on Hannity's show because advertising on opinion shows violates its policy. And BuzzFeed obtained a statement from Ring that says the doorbell company also pulled its sponsorship. Lisa Sleep announced on Twitter that it's no longer advertising on Sean Hannity, while another mattress company, Casper, told Fast Company that it has done the same. The cycling company, Peloton, also announced on Twitter this week that it had directed its media agency to cease advertising with Hannity, but that tweet has since been deleted. A spokesperson for the company did not respond to a request for comment. Unlike O'Reilly, who was called for boycotts at various times throughout his career, Hannity has expressed an aversion to the practice. Earlier this month, Hannity publicly objected to calls to boycott late-night host Stephen Colbert, who had made a vulgar joke about President Trump. "I am versus all boycotts," Hannity tweeted at the time. "He is a horrible human being, but if you don't like him, change the channel." Since ceasing discussion on the Seth Rich conspiracy theory, Hannity has shifted his focus to liberal organizations such as Media Matters, which earlier this week published a list of advertisers on his show. Media Matters has insisted that it is not calling for a boycott against Hannity, who will return to his show on Tuesday. That's all bull. Media Matters is a corrupt. O'Reilly, meanwhile, has decreed the backlash that led to his ouster as a hit, and he has vowed to expose what he has described as the left-wing forces behind it. On Thursday's edition of his podcast, O'Reilly went to bat for Hannity. So Sean Hannity now is getting hammered. They go after sponsors. They pay people to demonstrate. They pay people to lie. They, being this organized far-left progressive cabal, O'Reilly said, "We'll name them. You know, we're working at it. It'll happen, but I think everybody knows it's happening now." Certainly Hannity has said quite clearly that they're trying to destroy him, and he's right, they are. And it is disgraceful, but you know that because they're doing this, if there was no truth to the story, they'd be cracking up. They wouldn't be stopping it. Now let's take a listen. July 2016, DNC staffer Seth Rich fatally shot.
The attack happened here early Sunday morning in the 5th District at the intersection of West Street and Flagler. 27-year-old Seth Rich, seen here in his LinkedIn profile picture, murdered as he walked in a neighborhood he called home in Northwest D.C. Seth just lives a couple blocks away from here, but this is where police found him, right over there, lying on the ground in the intersection. He was still alive, but he had multiple gunshot wounds to his back. Seth worked here at the headquarters of the DNC. He was the director of voter expansion since 2014. DNC Chair Debbie Wasserman Schultz tells me
another criminal.
Our hearts are broken.
Really?
Seth was a dedicated, selfless public servant.
Schultz is the henchman for
to protect the
Hillary.
most sacred rights we share as Americans, the right to vote. This is the first murderer in this neighborhood this year. Stephen Matthews, whose family has lived here for the past 60 years, tells me he can't remember the last time he heard gunshots.
I heard 2 gunshots the other night. You know, I knew it was gunshots, but
was it like bam bam or?
It was in quick succession.
Police just confirming 2 armed robberies occurred in the last few weeks in this same neighborhood. One of those robberies involved a gun, and now maybe a third that quickly turned violent in what most think is a quiet and safe neighborhood. So somebody getting murdered here is just really strange.
Yeah, it kind of throws you back, makes you think a little bit, you know, makes you kind of watch over your shoulders, especially early in the morning.
Let us know what you think in the comments below, and thank you so much for watching.